Hey there, Adams Beer Venture fans. Back at you with another episode of Talking Beer. As you can see, I'm back in my half-built home bar. The weather, it's Maine. The weather sucks again. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. I can't change the weather. I'd rather be outside doing this. In fact, we're opening up a pool later this week. Good thing it's a heated pool. But hopefully I'll be doing poolside Talking Beer episodes here in the very near future. Thank you again for everyone who's been following these episodes. I'm really excited. I've gotten quite a bit of positive feedback, and I'm hoping that this kind of thing will take off, and maybe after all this stuff with this global pandemic is done, maybe this will become a regular thing. I don't know. I can tell you, again, hinting, hint, hint, wink, wink, we are still working on some more professional videos. These are just kind of down, dirty, raw, at-home things to throw out some stuff and have some ventures from home during this whole pandemic crisis thing that unfortunately is affecting us all around the world. So, in the meantime, let's get back to talking beer. So, speaking of Maine weather, today we're going to talk about all Maine beers. All right, and of course, I live in Maine, so naturally we get a lot of Maine brewery stuff available, even at the grocery stores and everything. A lot of these places are canning and bottling, so it's really easy to get this stuff. But Maine has a lot of great breweries. Literally, throw a rock and you're going to find a good brewery. There's not too many bad ones out there. In fact, I can only think of one off the top of my head that was really all around just a terrible experience. You can read about it on my blog. It was a brewery that used to be in Wells, Maine, and they don't even exist anymore. They went out of business quite a few years ago. But you can check that out on my website, www.adamsbeerventures.com. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into this, all right? I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you guys are probably busy. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, we're going to start with a brewery that I'm not particularly a huge fan of. It's not to say that they don't have good beers, because they've been around for quite a while. And I know my brother and my uncle are pretty big fans of this brewery, and they like their mainstream stuff. But for me, I'm just not a big fan of this brewery. But when their beers come out and I have the opportunity to try it, I do try it, because you never know. I might be surprised, and I might get surprised today, because this beer I haven't tried yet. I just bought it earlier today while I was at the store, and this is called Road to Reggae Mountain Lion. Now, my future brother-in-law actually pointed this out to me, and I guess they don't typically bottle this, from what I gather. I'm not exactly sure what the situation is there, but it's from Baxter Brewing, and they are out of, I believe it's Lewiston, Maine, if I remember right. Yep, Lewiston, Maine. Again, I've never been a huge Baxter fan. I don't know what it is about their beers. They're not terrible, but they're just not what I like in a beer. Maybe I'll get surprised today. So let's go ahead and pop this open and see what we got. All right. I do like the labels. Baxter does do pretty good labeling. They have pretty good marketing for their stuff, so we'll see what happens. Actually, this looks pretty good. The other thing we're doing today is there's a different style for everything today from each of these breweries. So right now we're doing a lager, right? And this is an interesting lager. Lagers usually don't pour this clear, in my experience. Not a lot of carbonation, but a nice head to it. Malty, hints of hops, earthy notes to it. Let's give it a try. Let's see how this is. Wow. Baxter, that is good. You guys just impressed me, which means I'll continue to keep trying your beers, even though a lot of your beers I haven't liked. That's a good lager. It's light, it's crisp. You could drink this whenever, with just about it, paired with any food out there. But this would really go good spring and summer. Definitely on the lighter side for a lager. That's actually really good. I'm impressed. Like I said, I'm not usually a big Baxter fan, but this is good. We'll put that one aside. I'm going to save that for later because I'm going to finish that off. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, this is a beer style that I'm very picky about. I don't. My experience with it has been Killian's, which of course is an Irish red or red ales. Red ales are one of those things. It's like lagers and IPAs. You got to stand out. And I've had a few that have stood out, and I have had this one before. And this is a good red ale. And this one is just lovingly called Red Ale. And this is from Airline Brewing Company. They're actually out of Amherst, Maine. I've been. They have two locations. They have one in Amherst and they have one in Ellsworth, Maine. I've been to the Ellsworth one where they have the pub. It's a great little place. Comfort food, definitely an English, Scottish, Irish style pub. And the beers are outstanding. I didn't have a beer there that I didn't like. So let's go ahead and dig right into this. All right, so this is a red. Again, I'm not a big red fan to begin with. But when you get a good one, they're good. So usually with a red, reds pour. Well, they have that red or really darker amber hue to them. This one, it's a little bit on the lighter side. It's definitely got that amber color to it, but it's not quite what you would think of if this was a red. If you had to look at this quick, you'd probably say it's an IPA based on what the head looks like and the amount of carbonation in it. Well, here we go. You might hear the wind blowing through. I don't know if you can or not, but yeah, weather in Maine sucks right now. So that's an excellent red ale. Well balanced, malty, with a very subtle hint of some bitterness on the front, but mostly that malty sweetness that I would expect in a good red. That's outstanding. Good job, Airline. And again, I'll put this one aside and finish that off in a little bit because I don't want to take up too much of your time. All right, next one. This has become one of my fast favorite beer styles. My brother actually introduced it to me, and I found with this style, you either love it or you hate it. Most places that have this on their menu actually put a little disclaimer, hey, this tastes different than any other beer you're going to have. But there's so many different things you can do with this style beer, and what brewers are doing with it right now is amazing. And it's a great beer that I haven't had a really terrible one yet. There's been some that weren't so great, but I love sours, and that's what we're going to try right now. This one is actually from a great brewery called Four River Brewing Company. These guys are tucked away in a little neighborhood in South Portland, Maine. I actually went there with my mom and took her there. We were there for a short time, but we tried a few beers in their tap room, and they got outstanding beers. Their tap room is a very nice little tap room, so when all this pandemic stuff is done, you should go check them out. This particular one is the Preble Raspberry Sour. I love raspberries to begin with because they grow plentiful here in Maine. I have a few bushes myself in my backyard here in York. Ooh, spilled a little. And then I have a ton of raspberry bushes up on my house up north that we vacation to. So for me, raspberries is a good way to go right off the bat. Ooh, I shook this one up a little too much, guys. So the head's coming up, but you can see you got that red, cloudy appearance to it. Thick, reddish tinted head to it. Definitely smells like raspberries. Doesn't smell like beer. Literally smells like I went to the grocery store, picked up a batch of raspberries to bring home, and that's it. What can I say? No, I have had this before. This is a wonderful beer. So if you're into the sour style of beers, this is a good way to go. This is amazing. I love this sour. This would go great with a lot of different foods, particularly on the lighter side. So chicken, seafood, that kind of stuff. But it could go with a steak, a salad. This would be great with a salad. And of course, this would be a great dessert beer too. In fact, you could probably make a really good vanilla raspberry sour float with this. Maybe I'll try that sometime. Um, Beer floats are pretty good if you haven't tried it already. Most people do it with stouts or porters, but you could easily do it with the sour. It would definitely meet the flavor expectations, and you add that vanilla to it, it'd be outstanding. That would be really good. Mm. I'm gonna finish this one off, the sample off, because I just really enjoy sour beer styles, and they become really popular. There's some really good sour breweries out there, and by that I mean they specialize in sours. There's one in New Hampshire, Newmarket, New Hampshire, called Deciduous. They're really good. There was one that I went to in Florida last year called Arcane Ale Works. Man, they blew the sour category out of the water. They had some outstanding beer. I mean, it was a religious experience to be at Arcane. It really was, and it was a hole in the wall little place that we just kind of stumbled upon. But they were outstanding, and I follow all these breweries anyway. And when I get the chance to get their sours, I do. So, cheers, Four River. This is an excellent beer. I'm going to keep buying it, believe me. Mm. We'll get back to the rest of that later. Now, we're going to finish off today with one of my all-time favorite pale ales. Not an IPA. This is just a simple pale ale. I tried this about 10 years ago, give or take, and their brewery has expanded ever since. I've never had a bad beer from this brewery, but this particular pale ale is one of my all-time go-tos for a pale. And I am, of course, talking about today Peeper from Maine Beer Company up in Freeport, Maine. These guys up at Maine Beer Company are outstanding. Like I said, I've never had a bad beer from them. They're really good. They're outstanding. And Peeper is my go-to with them. It's a great, well-balanced pale ale. I love it. It's a good pale. I've been to the brewery now a couple of times. I went there once when it was when they first opened, and it was a really small operation. And then I went there last year when they had significantly expanded. They have a massive um, tap room and pizza joint and shop that they go to. You can see everything for the brewing process through the glass and everything. It's a very clean facility. They have outdoor seating, indoor seating. They have a water fountain inside, and like it was a cool little experience. And the place when I was there is packed. People wall to wall. People are having a great time. People are social. It's dog friendly. There are dogs there, at least on the outside. So it was a pretty good experience all around. Definitely have always enjoyed their products. So here we go. Mm, I really do. The Peeper Pale Ale is just an outstanding. It's so well balanced. It's like the perfect pale. Enough citrusy sweetness with just the right amount of hoppy bitterness. Not too much carbonation, not too much head. It's a smooth pale, which with pales it can be kind of hard to be a smooth beer. But this is just so well balanced and so flavorful and light. It's a good beer. If you get a chance, try it out. All right. Thanks, everybody. That's all I got for you today. These are all great Maine breweries that have been pretty well established, and I highly recommend that you give each of them a try. Form your own opinion about each of them. Thank you guys so much for continuing to watch these episodes. Again, I'm excited to try to get and do this since I can't get out to the breweries. So please, if you do like it, click like, subscribe to my page. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Untapped, all under the same name, Adams Beer Ventures. And of course, you can see my website where everything is posted up. I got all my blogs and everything up on there, video and written. And we're going to try to start putting up some new news and everything. Keep an eye out for more and more YouTube content. We're going to do more professional stuff here in the very near future. In fact, we had already started doing some of those projects, so you'll start to see that stuff coming out soon, hopefully. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all healthy. Uh, Go out there, enjoy some craft beer. Please drink responsibly. And I'll talk to you all later on the next episode of Talking Beer. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.